this is the start of what I'm hoping is going to be the absolute last word in Titan Z content. So I have decided that I am going to put out a ton of Geforce Titan Z SLI content. Why am I going to do that? For fun. So I am building, again, what I'm hoping is going to be the ultimate Titan Z build. So I've made some selections on parts here. I've acquired this stuff over the last month or so, and I am ready to do a full build now. So to start with, the thing that's going to make this possible, hopefully, if it works the way I want, is this. This is a, oops, there goes my SSD. Hopefully I didn't break it, because those are actually quite easy to break. So this is a ASUS X99 workstation board. So this is, what is the specific model? This is the ASUS X99E WS/USB 3.1. I didn't really care about the USB 3.1. What I actually bought this for is because, so, kind of see here, all these PCIe slots, specifically X16, 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 X16. This is primarily going to be a build for my my Titan Zs. But if I decide to do so, if I decide to do any 4-way SLI, maybe 4-way 980 Ti's, maybe 4-way 780 Ti's, maybe even going back as far as 4-way GTX 580s. I don't really know. I've actually got the cards for 3-way EVGA classified 580s, so, you know. But the main thing I got it for is so I can put a Titan Z here and a Titan Z here, so that I would have that much space in between the Titan Zs, because the case I'm going to use has enough space below the board and before the power supply for me to do that. So that'll let me keep it a lot cooler than the situation where you normally cook one of the two cards. So that's primarily what we got going on here. I also I like workstation boards. I find that they tend to be more capable, and I mean, gaming boards look cool, but especially for X99, this workstation board, everything I've read is that this board is the shit. So that's what we went with. And then I ended up with a pair of these EVGA 1300 watt power supplies. Technically it's overkill, but because I want to be capable of doing 4-way SLI on this board, I figured, well, I should probably get something like this. So EVGA 1300 G2. Now keep in mind, a lot of this stuff is just lucky deals I picked up, so I chose a lot of it based on that's what I ended up with on hand. We've got 32 gigs, 4x8, Corsair Vengeance RGB. I may even turn the RGB off, but for the time being, I don't have a non-RGB set, so that's what we're using. Then we have the star of the show. I only have one in a box, but I have two of these. This is the EVGA, or I guess this one's EVGA, but the cooler on them is all the same. This is the Titan Z. Really shouldn't need any introduction, but as you're watching the rest of the build video, you'll see what this thing is. We're going to be running 2 of them, SLI. It's going to be awesome. I already have a build set up that way, but I wanted the better cooling. I didn't want to start really going hard on the cards until I had cooling that I was happy with, which this build will have. Then we have a full, you can kind of see the corners of them here, a full loadout of Noctua fans. Noctua? Noctua? I don't know. Someone's going to bitch. Whatever. These up here are the 2000 RPM industrial PPC. Those are probably going to go on the 240 millimeter AIO. But I also have a 280 millimeter AIO, which I could use probably the slower maybe these silent 800 RPM, because I'm not going to be doing a lot of overclocking. This is not an overclocking build. It could, but it's not what it's for. So I could go that route. The bulk of the cooling is going to be these. These are the 3000 RPM industrial PPC 140s. These move just a shit ton of air. Okay, a ton of air is going to get moved by these fans. And I'm going to have 2 in the front, 1 in the back, and probably that's all. But I do have a 4th if, for whatever reason, the way I decide to do the liquid cooler, I, for whatever reason, can utilize it. It's an option. So I don't know. I'm not going to use all of these fans. There's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 Noctua fans. I'm not going to use all 11, but I have a full set of Noctua fans that I can use as I see fit. So I can do whatever cooling I want. I originally wanted this to be an RGB build in a tempered glass case, but I haven't been able to find a tempered glass case of the particular size and specific set of features, mainly being enough space between the bottom, you can't really see it here, but between the bottom PCIe here and the power supply. So to be able to mount the cards the way I want, that was the main thing. And this was the first case that popped up that had it. And I don't really feel like trying to hunt down a different model case. So that's what we ended up with. So I may upload this separate or I may not. I don't know yet. But this is the start of the build. So stay tuned and we are going to jump right into actually building the system.